She was not asking if her face was beautiful. She was asking if her choice was worth it. In 1979, 7 children finally answered. Origin Protocol. Witness File 002-B, Subject Designation, Echo, E002-B, Classification, Witness Record. Case Status, Closed. The following testimony was recorded from Yamada Kenichi, age 11 at time of incident, in the 43rd year of his life. He requested this record remain sealed until the other 7 were formally recognized. They never were. The official record describes the incident as a gas leak accident. 7 students died preventing an explosion. 214 students and faculty evacuated safely. No mention of what Kenichi saw in the building after the others ran. He has not spoken of it publicly in 32 years. He agreed to speak to Origin Protocol on one condition. That her name be recorded correctly. June 1979. The Kuchisake-onna panic had been building for 6 months. Every prefecture in Japan had reported sightings. Schools had organized group escort systems. Parents waited at bus stops. Teachers conducted headcounts at every intersection. In Suita City, the Yamamoto Cram School operated evening sessions for elementary students preparing for middle school entrance examinations. 214 students enrolled. Sessions ran until 9 in the evening. Yamada Kenichi attended Tuesday and Thursday sessions. He was 11 years old. He describes the atmosphere that summer as one of constant low-level fear. Every adult walking alone on the street after dark was a potential threat. Every woman in a surgical mask, commonplace in Japan even then, required assessment. He recalls the specific detail that the older students had developed a ranking system for suspicious individuals observed from the school windows. He was ranked 3rd fastest runner in his class. He had never needed to run. At 2014 hours, Kenichi detected the smell. He describes it as faint. Barely perceptible. He was seated near the back of the classroom on the ground floor, closest to the utility corridor. He raised his hand. His teacher dismissed the concern. The smell intensified over the following 11 minutes. At 2025, 3 other students confirmed the smell. A girl named Matsumoto Aiko. 2 brothers, Fujiwara Sho and Fujiwara Ryo. The teacher opened a window. The smell did not dissipate. It increased. At 2031, Kenichi identified the source direction, the utility room at the end of the ground floor corridor. He reported this. The teacher told the class to remain calm and continued the lesson. At 2034, 7 students stood up simultaneously. Kenichi does not remember coordinating this with the others. He states that they simply stood up at the same time. The 7 students walked to the front of the class and told the teacher to evacuate the building. The teacher refused to interrupt the lesson. The 7 students began the evacuation themselves. They moved through the corridors shouting fire warnings. They knocked on every classroom door on every floor. They directed students toward the emergency exits. They did not ask permission. Kenichi estimates the evacuation of 214 students took 9 minutes. He does not know how they accomplished this. The building had 4 floors. In his account, the 7 students were simply everywhere that was needed. The last classroom evacuated was on the 4th floor. By the time the final students exited, the gas smell was detectable throughout the building. The teacher who had refused to interrupt the lesson was among the last to leave. She did not speak to the 7 students as she passed them. The 7 students did not follow the others out. They remained inside to locate the gas valve. Kenichi states this decision was not discussed. It was simply understood. He was the 8th child present. He had been tasked with confirming the 4th floor was clear. He came back down to find the others. Kenichi descended to the ground floor at 2051. He found the 6 remaining students in the utility corridor. They had located the gas valve. It required a specific tool to close. None of them had it. One student, Nakamura Hana, was attempting to close it manually. Her hands were bleeding. The gas concentration in the corridor was high enough that Kenichi experienced immediate dizziness upon entering. He states that the entity appeared at 2053. He saw her at the end of the corridor. White surgical mask. Dark coat. She was standing completely still. Kenichi froze. He describes the sensation as absolute certainty that he was about to die. None of the other 6 reacted to her presence. He does not know if they saw her. What happened next, Kenichi states he has reviewed in his memory every day for 32 years. The entity did not ask her question. She looked at the 7 students for 4 seconds. Then she turned and walked to the wall panel 6 meters behind them. She placed her hand on it. The panel contained the emergency gas shutoff. Origin protocol cross-referenced the behavioral anomaly with historical records from the Heian period. 847 CE. A village fire in what is now Nara Prefecture. Multiple adults entered the burning structures to extract children. Among them, a woman whose name does not appear in official records. She was the last to exit. The children she carried out were the last children remaining. The fire had reached her face before she cleared the building. Her husband, a minor official of samurai rank, is recorded in 2 separate documents. The first document records his service commendation. The second document, a physician's record, describes treating a woman for additional facial lacerations inflicted by a blade, consistent with a tanto. The physician's record notes that the woman spoke before losing consciousness. The exact words are preserved. Translation: I am not ashamed of this face. I would do it again. I would do it every time. Origin protocol assessment: the entity was not created by rage. She was created by a vow. The vow was never broken. It was never completed. Until June 21, 1979. Nakamura Hana closed the emergency shutoff at 2054. The gas flow stopped. The concentration in the corridor began to dissipate. At 2056, a static electrical discharge from a compromised circuit in the utility room ignited residual gas. The explosion was contained to the utility corridor. Kenichi had reached the stairwell door. He survived with minor burns to his left arm. The 6 students in the corridor did not survive. Fujiwara Sho. Fujiwara Ryo. Matsumoto Aiko. Nakamura Hana. Inoue Takeshi. Watanabe Miki. Their names do not appear in any official account of the incident. The official record states that 7 students died in an accidental gas explosion during evacuation. The 214 students who evacuated are not mentioned by name in any document. Kenichi states that when the explosion occurred, he was looking back through the small window in the stairwell door. He saw the entity standing in the corridor with the 6 students. She did not move. Kenichi states that her mask was down. He states that she was smiling. He states it was not a frightening expression. He has never been able to adequately describe what it was. Echo E002 has not been confirmed in any documented incident since June 21, 1979. Origin protocol assessment: the entity's behavioral compulsion ceased following the Suita incident. The vow made in 847 CE, I would do it again. I would do it every time, was fulfilled by 6 children who had never heard it. Kenichi states that he returned to the site of the cram school 17 years after the incident. The building had been demolished. A convenience store occupied the lot. He stood outside for 40 minutes. He states that he was waiting to see if she would appear. She did not. He states he had prepared his answer to her question. He has never told anyone what the answer was. He states only that it was not yes or no. Origin Protocol notes, the question she asked for 1200 years was never about her face. It was about whether the choice to sacrifice yourself for children you do not know is something a person could call beautiful. The file is closed. The question has been answered. We decline to record the answer here. Some answers belong to the people who earned the right to give them.